Transformers, more than meets the eye.
Hello everyone. My first Universe Classics 2.0 figure review is going to be of Deluxe Class Tankor, which is otherwise known as Octane in the G1 universe. So just sit back and enjoy it. One of Tankor's vehicle modes is this old style plane. And out of his two vehicle modes, this one is definitely the best out of them because the plane was really made first, while the tank or the truck one was kind of made just to figure out how the pieces could form it. Fucking shit. 3, 2, 1. One of Tankor's vehicle modes is his plane mode, which, in my opinion, is the best mode out of this figure as far as vehicle modes go, because this one seems to have been designed first. The jet or the plane was designed first, and the truck was kind of more of an afterthought. But the has similar colors as the Generation 1, and also kind of reminds me of Astro Train a lot. Each propeller on the wings do spin. The guns here are mounted on a peg and hole, which do swivel back and forth, but they are limited due to the actual wings here. It does have 3 wheels on the bottom, which are very tiny and do not really serve any purpose as far as rolling, because with how much weight is on the back, you're kind of just gliding against plastic anyway, so the wheels are more or less useless. And you can see they don't stick out very much at all. This whole section on the back, I have a lot of trouble holding together, and this will eventually become the forward or the front part of the truck. But I find myself always trying to squeeze these two together, and these two pieces together. And there's a good weak point here. As you can see, there's maybe the light's too bright, but there's a good stress mark in the plastic here from trying to bend these wings back into place. Overall though, this is a very attractive vehicle mode. You don't see too many of these type of planes and transformers in this size class. And for a triple changer, which is triple changers usually have a fair amount to kibble in them, this is not too bad as far as this toy goes. Out of the vehicle modes, I definitely prefer this one the most. To get him to his truck mode, first we're going to want to get rid of these guns for now. Which can be a little awkward because of the position of how close they are to the body. And then we will flip up all the wings right here. And do the same on these. Now the transformation for this figure, as opposed to the Astro Train figure, getting from one mode to the other, is actually surprisingly a lot more complicated than Astro Train, which was basically just a couple steps, which is really good. Flipping these around is a little confusing because you really wouldn't expect for the blades of the helicopter or for the plane to be underneath the truck. Okay, then flip this piece up. This is can be a little tricky because all these pieces are not very tight, and you have to put a good amount of force in them just to get them right. I forgot one thing too. There's this piece here that you have to fold forward. I'll show that in detail, further detail when putting in robot mode. Alright. Make sure that front is attached. This is the same piece I was referring to in the back of the plane. Attach the guns. Which I don't know why there'd be guns on the side of a truck, but oh well. And here we have a truck, which barely resembles a truck, except if you look at it from the front. It has got so many inner workings exposed on the sides that wish there could have been a way to have some panels fold over to cover the front or cover the sides, but it's kind of a hard thing to do when dealing with triple changer toys. Right, and as you can see, the front detaches very easily. Out of all the modes for this figure, this is definitely the weakest. It has the stupid weapon claw thing that, being obviously shown from the top, is distracting. Overall, it just doesn't really look like a truck, except for the cab and the wheels. If it didn't have that, you would really have no idea what it was. But this was, they had to come up with some way. For being a deluxe class figure, you kind of have to give them a little leeway on it, because it's really hard to do with a triple changer in this size class. Now, transforming into robot mode is almost as complicated as getting into this mode, but a lot more satisfying. First, we're just going to get rid of this ugly piece here and just set that aside for now. And pretty much just detach everything and get everything free. Slide these up, which will eventually become the legs. Well, they can become the legs now. All you have to do is just take the windshield, pull them up, eventually they do. There we go. And you can already start to see the robot forming. But then you want to take this section here and flip it all the way down like this. So you want to have the wings on the back. And now flip up the arm, or the plane front, which will become the arms. And instead of just trying to figure out what position you want to do, you just want to pretty much just unfold everything until it starts to look like an arm, because it is kind of weird looking no matter what, no matter how you position it. Okay, and Tankor, otherwise known as Octane, has rather Generation 1-esque hands, as in its fingers are molded into the sides, and on the outside doesn't resemble a hand at all, which is really weird to see on a toy of today's standards. Okay, fold up the wings and you can tilt them back up if you like. I prefer to have them tilted up a little bit and to have them kind of going back a little bit. It kind of makes them, it just makes it a little bit cooler. And that is him in robot mode. And overall, he is very detailed. He is fairly small for a deluxe. He feels a lot smaller than his plane mode. He has a lot of bits and pieces showing. Like, obviously the main thing is that you can see the sides. On the side of his arms, you see the top of the plane. You see all the inner workings of plane in jet mode, or the plane in truck mode. But overall, it's very they did a very good job of concealing all the parts and just trying to get a good looking robot out of this. I never had a Generation 1 Octane, so I'm not sure how similar the transformation to this is to the original one, but it's still fairly complex for especially compared to the animated series. So overall, it's a very fun little toy. As far as the weapons go, it has this stupid thing where the top of the truck and bottom of the plane opens up and forms a claw, which I will never see myself using. So just set that aside. And he has the two guns, which can go in either hand, or you can attach them to one and make a kind of like a 4-barreled shotgun, which can go in either hand. But overall, it is a very small but very detailed figure for its class size. I've never really preferred the Astro Train figure, but if you're deciding only one, if you had the chance of ever getting an Astro Train, or if you were deciding about getting this one instead, my personal opinion would be to pass over Astro Train and get this guy, because even though he's not really a very well-known character in the Transformers universe, I think he's a lot more fun and has a lot more playability than the Astro Train. Alright, until next time, thank you for watching.